Hello, everyone. My name is Nicole, and I am taking over for today. I'm Sherry shepherding for Xavier due to the fact that I know she had to take care of some business today. So I am going to lead our girls talk and what's hot segment and what's going on in the DMV segment. I have one of my favorite people in the entire world, Vanetta, joining us today. She's going to give us the Vanetta experience like only she can. Let me see if she is in the building. I think she's joining us very shortly. But while she's getting on, let me read her bio to you guys. So Vanetta is a friend of mine. I've known her for many years. We met in my Facebook group, Dat Truth. And from the moment I met her, I just knew she was a dynamic and unique personality that I immediately fell in love with. And so Vanetta is the business owner of several businesses that I would love for her to talk about at the end of our segment. She can give us her social media handles and all of that good stuff. But let me see if she's on the line. Vanetta, are you there?
Hey, lady, what's going on?
Oh, yay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You know, I don't know how to work this stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to know how to let her in the room.
Oh,
so
no,
I'm glad that I found you. So I was telling our listeners that you are the creator of the Vanetta Experience on Clubhouse, which airs on Sundays at 6 p.m. ESP, so you all can find her there. Vanetta is also an entrepreneur. She has several businesses that she is ahead of currently. So of course, we want you to tell us more about those, V. Yeah. But Xavier did give me some hot topics that she wanted us to address today.
Okay.
And I actually had a question of the day for you based on a conversation that I actually had with a girlfriend last night. And it made me go, I don't know about this one anymore. I used to think like how she thinks, but now I don't know. So we're going to get into that too. But first things first. So, of course, celebrity gossip. Did you hear, Vanetta, that Naomi Campbell, the model Naomi Campbell, recently gave birth to her first child at age 50? I guess, like Janet Jackson, I think Janet did the same thing. What are your thoughts on that, if any?
I don't know. I have some thoughts. I don't see. When they said that she gave birth, I don't know, because I don't know where the evidence is of her giving birth. Like, we don't have birthing pictures of her being pregnant, so she probably did it during surrogacy. And I have an issue being a mom of two kids, a boy and a teenage daughter. If you're a mom, like, you're definitely going to be sharing that birthing journey with someone. I mean, people try to act like they want to be quiet and keep it private, but I'm at a point, she probably did it through surrogacy because of her age and of her career field of being a model. She probably definitely didn't want her body to be messed up. So because it just kind of like popped up and was like, hey, now I have a baby. It's like, yeah, so okay, there's no pictures of you having had this baby, but you can become a mom in various ways, and with surrogacy is one of them. Adoption, and then natural birth, and so forth. So hey, to each his own. I definitely, being a mom, and like I said, I have a teenage daughter who's 15, will be out of high school, and my son's 8. So I'm like in that middle stage, and I'm 43, and I just think like I would not have children past like 40 for my personal experience, because I do travel a lot, I do operate a lot of businesses, I still work for corporate America, and so it's like I couldn't see doing it at 50 unless you're just retiring and you have a nice nest egg lined up. That's great, but yeah, it wouldn't be for me. I'm not.
For the average woman, to me, it sounds horrific.
It is.
I'm children, but I just could not imagine. Even now at 39, I'm very hesitant. Do I even want to change diapers at this age in the game? I can't imagine changing diapers and dealing with a newborn at 50. But like you said, she's rich enough to have the resources, so I'm sure she has live-in nannies and I don't think there's anything she necessarily has to do by herself at this
Correct.
point.
Correct. Yeah, you've established yourself as in a career where you're able to afford those resources, and that's great. You know, it's fine, but it's still taxing to be a mom and doing it in your 50s and 60s. Like, it's stuff I still do with my teenage daughter. I'm with her now. We're in Atlanta. You know, we just came from her orthodontist appointment. We literally flew in this morning, took care of that, and it's like things you still have to do, and then you got to juggle your family. You know, my son's with my dad, the dog's at the pet hotel. I'm still working online as I'm traveling. So it's like, for me to want to juggle like a newborn, I don't even, you know me, I don't even date guys with kids, because I'm like, you're not meeting my kids, and I damn sure not gonna meet your kids. But yeah, I'm just like you said, to each their own name. If you want to do that, great, you have the resources. But she's at a point that gives a false reality of being a mom, because it's not easy. And having to cultivate a child the correct way and doing it right, it takes a lot of time and practice. And you, of all people, know me. You've been around my family and my kids, and you know my kids are with me all the time, and I'm still able to do the stuff.
You know, I love your kids. I think they're the cutest ever.
Look, you can have them. Look, you can have them through adoption.
Right, I'm on Team Cole.
Look, I'll pay you child support. I'll pay you child support.
Okay, we have to talk offline about that now.
Like, I have no problem paying the child support. That ain't nothing but another business for me to write off.
Exactly. No, I do think society sometimes glamorizes that piece, because we comparing ourselves to these celebrities who their lifestyle is nothing like ours.
Nothing.
Like, they don't even have to work. Naomi Campbell, Janet Jackson, they don't have to work ever a day in their life anymore. So yes, they can do all of these things at a later age, whereas the regular single mom or single woman, you know, to me, that might be a setup for failure. But who am I, right? Like, children we love, you can adopt, you can foster, you can surrogate, whatever. If that's your lifelong dream and you feel like you can handle it, you know, then go ahead. But it's not easy.
Yes, it's definitely not easy, and I would not sign up for that in my 50s. Not at all.
At 50. I just wouldn't have
I'd run 50 businesses before I'd be a newborn mom. No.
There's a lot of patience and willpower required, and yes, I couldn't do it. I would not do it. Well, speaking of parenthood, let's move to fatherhood. So, as we know, Ciara, for whatever reason, she's still her and Future. People love talking about these two. I do not know why.
I don't know why either.
Yeah, I don't get it. So anyway, they always post family pictures, right? Her, Russell, the kids. I think they just did a beautiful Valentine's Day spread with the whole family. And, you know, Russell always has little Future, you know, with him. And so who do you think the child is going to look up to? Like, do you think little Future thinks Russell is his daddy, or Big Future is his daddy?
I think
he's going to be his influence.
Yeah, I think he knows who his dad is. Like I said, I'm in Atlanta and I'm around some of Future baby mamas, which is funny.
Wow. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm in that circle of degrees that know people who know people. So it's like, I think, like I said, baby Future, I think Ciara is not gonna not allow him to know who his dad is, and I think, you know, media is not gonna not let him know who his dad is. But the thing is, the kid, the person the kid is around the most is the one that they're going to honor as their dad, because he's going to remember Russell raising him. He's in the house with him every day. You know, he's not getting handoff, you know what I'm saying, to Future. I don't even know how often Future sees him, or any of his 28 kids, who knows. So I just look at it like, you know, you always remember the person who actually like raised you, who was there, you know, through your wonder years, and, you know, giving you that advice. But I don't think he would ever be able to not know who his biological dad is, which is, you know, Future.
No, that's true. You're right. I guess I look at it as he has a bonus dad, right? Like, Future is his biological, and then Russell is his bonus dad, and you can never have too much love. If Russell want to love on him, then that's his business. And like you said, that's who he'll probably pattern his life after, that person who is the dominant influence in his day-to-day life. Let's see. Oh, congratulations are in order for model Beverly Johnson, who recently got married at 69. Unlike childbirth, I feel like you can get married, you know, at any age. And I'm sure this is not her first marriage. I'm pretty sure this is like her second or third. But I already know how you feel on marriage, so I guess you wouldn't be getting married at 69, huh, Vanetta?
Absolutely not. I'm not even getting remarried again at 43. The chances is very low, like 0.007%. And I took that off of a meme from Facebook of the probability of women finding their suitor at X, Y, and Z, ages. It's like at the end of the day, if I'm not marrying a multi-millionaire, which I'm going to be one in the next couple of years, I'm definitely have no interest in marrying anyone. I'm definitely not the person that's like, oh, I need to be in love with this person, and we can do life together.
Oh, right. So you feel a need to. So for you, what if you are in love with a man and he is in love with you, but he's just not a millionaire? You still don't see the need to tie those finances together?
No, I wouldn't tie those finances together. I think I could live in a long-term companionship contract agreement. Like currently my lover, he's, like if we were like, hey, this is what it looks like. He's my lover. He's my current lover. He needs to be able.
About that word for me that does it for me.
Yeah, you're my current lover, and this is the extent of our relationship. But I don't see like households emerging. I don't want to like. He has a 2-year-old. She lives in London. I'm like, good, let her stay in London. I'm not even trying to like meet her. I don't even want to say hi to her. And a lot of people look at that like, and I'm like, no, because I don't want that involvement in my kids' life. Because they're old enough to know their dads, and it's like that's fine. They look up to him like, oh, okay, he's just dating my mom. He's my mom's lover. Like he dates my mother, but he doesn't play a significant enough role in my life to be my father figure. You know what I'm saying? So like, if he was like, hey, I care about you, let's settle down. The picture, he would have to paint a really nice picture for me to buy on board with it. I just have to protect myself, protect my children, inheritance, and protect my business investments. So I'm like. He would have to sell it for me to be like, but yeah, I legally would not be married to anyone. But on paper, we can have a contract. We can have a
love contract. That's what you used to talk about with, I think, Cassidy. He had a love contract.
Yeah, but as you've known me over these last 8 years. You came to my engagement party in DC with thou who should now be named. He's no longer, he's a former lover. So he was, I created the term forever. I coined the term forever fiance, meaning we were going to live in that type of arrangement, and I wasn't going to marry him legally. But you came to our engagement party, so it's like those are the things I are willing to do.
I do remember you doing that. Yep. I will say, Vonetta, you are a woman of your word. When you say something, you are so serious about it. And this is actually leading me into my next question. That's why I love you, because you're non-conventional and your way of thinking is so different from most women. And I'm at a point where I just want women to get out of the box, and I want them to create the life that makes them happy, whatever that is. I don't know what it is because it's different for everyone. But so this leads me into my next question of the day. Me and my girlfriend were having this discussion yesterday. I don't know if you believe in like law of attraction and frequencies and, the universe delivering what we want. Once we put out our order to the universe, it cannot come back void. But anyway, the discussion was around, let's say you as a woman do desire, let's say not you specifically, since you already told me yours, but let's say you as a woman did desire a husband or a boyfriend, basically a committed monogamous relationship. That was your true desire. But let's say that has not manifested itself yet, right? Like, let's say you just haven't met that particular guy, but you have met other guys who perhaps they're better off as your friend, your companion, your lover. Do you think that a woman who is in the headspace to want a real committed relationship should be entertaining guys on a lover level, like a fuck buddy level, or just like a kick it level if they say they want a man? Like, does that ruin your chances of calling that other person in?
No, I don't think it ruins your chances of calling another person. I'm big for, like I said, being happy, design the lifestyle that you want. And that's the Vonetta experience that I share, my luxury lifestyle brand, of doing, get the results you want. And that's why I'm a successful dater, because I get the results I want out of the situation. I don't allow a lot of stuff to be dictated to me, because it's like, hey, if I want this, then I need to, can you hear me? I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
No, I hear you. Uh-huh.
Okay. If I want this, I'm going to go after and get it. I do believe in the universe, what you put out there, you get, because as you know me, everything I've said to you, I've accomplished over the years. I have friends from 30 years. They could tell you everything I said, I'm going to do, I've done it. So I'm a big component of putting it out in the universe, manifestation, and doing the work to get there. Like I tell women, like, don't just sit at the house and you think you're Prince Charming. You know, everybody wants this percentage of men that they're not going to get, because that percentage of men don't want them either. Don't want them. They may want them, but they don't want them. And you know me, I've dated a percentage of that percentage of men, and you've known, you know, a couple of them. So it's like, you know, these women want these high value men, and I'm like, I date them, but it's like at the end of the day, you know, it's just look good on paper. You definitely need to focus on a connection that you have with someone and have.
Let's take the high value out. You know, I hate that term, and I hate
that.
Yeah,
I know, me too. I do too.
But let's just say a woman just wants a regular dude. She's not even caring about the quote unquote high value. She doesn't need him to be 6'5" and a basketball player, because I do know a large sector of women who do not care about that piece. However, they just haven't met that special person yet. So in the meanwhile, as they're believing that they will, let's say they do go out, they do different things, they haven't met that man for them in that regards, but maybe they meet someone else. And that, so should they be entertaining that? Like, the person is not person may not be beating them down or you know, doing anything crazy, but they may identify early on, okay, this probably is not my forever person, but I do enjoy the time that I spend with him.
Correct. So I agree. So I'm going to agree that I think you should open your heart. You should be like, we are here to service one another. We are here to love on each other and so forth. So I don't see anything wrong with that, as long as it's not taken away from your it's not like minusing stuff in your life or adding a liability to your life. You see what I'm saying? So you can just keep an open heart, keep that. And I think that's what's going to attract the person that needs to be with you, because you kept your heart open and it wasn't guarded, and you missed that opportunity, or you deferred that opportunity to come, and then now you're frustrated, and then your manifestation is not as great, and then you're wondering why things are taking longer than it should. But I think when women keep their heart open and their mind open to things, like I met my current lover like that. I'm like, I met him walking into a restaurant. It's like I wasn't like trying to be with somebody, but my heart stays open. So it was like, hey, the connection is there. And I think if more women focus on the actual true connection, then they'll find that person that they need to be with, or they can see their life with. Like, I married someone who didn't make six figures, who wasn't 6 feet tall. I mean, he had over 6 inches, of course, because that's my preference. But you know, so it's like you have to, you have non-negotiables, and you know what those are and stick to them. And then, you know, like, everything else can fall into place. I married my husband because I felt like I could, you know, get through this life with him, and I enjoyed being around him, and I genuinely liked him. A lot of women don't like the person they're with, even if they marry. That's why I said a lot of women file for divorce because they don't like their husbands. After then, they're like, I don't really like this person. I don't even know I'm married, because you had this image and you just stuck this person in this image, and they did what you wanted them to do, and then now you're not happy. So women need to focus on actually liking the person they're with, because you actually know some people I dated, and we, you know, we're mutual friends, and you know, you actually got to like these people. You like,
but that's kind of the question, though. What if you do like the person, but you know he's not going to be your husband? So are you?
Like I said, no, I don't think you're
with him or whatever y'all are doing, dating him.
You're only
wasting your time. If
you're only wasting your time if this person is becoming a problem in your life. You're wasting your time when you're not having discernment on when to let this person go on a journey. And that's why I say I date successfully, because I get what I want out. The journey, the person, and I'm like, hey, I know when to say when. I'm like, hey, this is not working out. We're not good. Like, let's move on. A lot of women don't know how to move on. A lot of people women don't know how to let go. So that's why they miss their blessing, or they miss the person that they're supposed to be with, or they defer the person they're supposed to be with because they don't know how to let go or know when the journey needs to end.
Yes. Okay. That's the piece that I was focusing on. Do you think women are able to detach from those that if they're saying they want this husband, this king, this whatever, can you continue dating the pauper, the clown, the court jester, the whatever, these in the meantime, in between time people? Is that going to get you closer to your king? And that's kind of the debate. And I personally, I don't know. I mean, I've met people when I've had full-on boyfriends. So I don't know what the answer is personally. Like, I've definitely met a new boyfriend while I was in a relationship with an old boyfriend. So for me, I don't look at it as you can't do something, because you can if you want to. But I don't know. I don't know if energetically, if you're entertaining all of these lower leveled people, will you be able to identify your higher vibrational person? That's the question.
I would say you can, like I said, stay open-minded. Like I said, if you still can be able to do that. So I'm just going to leave that there because I said like the main thing is the issue is a lot of women don't know when to say when. They don't know when to let it go. So that's why they're blocking their blessing in regards to trying to be with a person that they are probably supposed to be with. So like I said, as long as the person's not taken away from your lifestyle, like people should add to your lifestyle, make your life better. If you noticing that's not happening, you got all this drama and you got all this heartache and you anxiety, then let that person go. But see, women don't let that person go. They still stay in it.
Reason, like they clinging on for dear life, right? Even though this person is, like you said, creating a liability for their happiness. You're right. I kind of like that. I think then philosophy would be to a woman or anyone, if the person is making you happy, then I don't see the harm in dating them or whatever you're doing with them. Now, like you said, when it gets to a point where you're no longer happy or they're violating you or something weird is going on, then you probably should leave them alone. But I don't think that the universe is so stingy that you can't be blessed with multiple opportunities at the same time. It's just a matter of, are you wise enough to identify when, like you just said, when to let go and go for the goal. So I don't know. I'm like you. I'm a multi. I don't have to lock it. I don't look at men, and I've never dated like that. I don't look at men when I first meet them as, oh my God, is he going to be my husband? And, you know, for me, that's too stressful and too taxing. I don't know if that's how you should date, but that for me doesn't feel authentic. I like to get to know a person a little bit more first, to see how we vibe, see what is our personality styles, how do we handle how do we handle conflict? Because everything is not all roses. It's not going to be, in the beginning, it's fun, but it's not going to always be fun.
Yeah, so it's not going to be always fun. I can tell you, like my current lover, I'm like, I'll always be trying to leave. Like, oh, let me get rid of this. But that's the thing. I think nowadays it's so easy to leave. It's so easy to walk away. It's so easy to say, you know what, I don't want to even deal with this no more. And people don't stick things out. And some people leave for various reasons. And if it's so easy for you to let go, you might want to consider that you might not be someone that needs to be married.
That's true. You know? No, I totally agree with you. Everyone is not built for marriage because, like you said, that's part of it, right? Like, we're going to have to tough through some things. And you are going to get on my nerves. I'm going to get on your nerves. Like,
but
so if you
that's why it's important for people to do conflict resolution, communication. People always say communication, but you have to be very specific when it comes to those details. How do you communicate your tone? The things that you say, you don't want to be hurtful when you're trying to, work with your partner. It's certain things that you need to play fair.
No, I agree. I hate communication. To me is, like you said, and then the communication we never talk on. And maybe that's another show topic. To me, a lot of communication is also nonverbal, right? I've realized in certain experiences with men, women do a lot of talking. We want to talk about everything. And while, yes, some things we absolutely need to verbalize, sometimes men don't even respond well to all of that talking. So there comes a point where, as a woman, you need to communicate non-verbally, right? Like, okay, I've already told you this 5 times. So why am I going to keep telling you the same thing over and over, and it's going in one ear and out the other, but yet now I expect you to understand? And I think that's the communication piece no one is ever taught. What are the nonverbal communication skills? What are some things you can do nonverbally to help someone really understand what you're saying? And I don't think we talk about that enough. Just saying, oh, I don't like that. Okay, cool. Next week, they done forgot and they gonna do it again. Or they didn't even hear it the first time. A lot of men, once we go into talking and nagging mode, they like tune out anyway.
Right. Yeah. It's more like tunnel. Like they just like tune it out, especially if that's not something they want. And they're like, yeah, I just listen to her, but I'm not really, focusing on her.
Yeah. I remember in the back of my 20s, I don't know if you remember Voxer. I used to send one of my boyfriends all these long messages. We beefing. He not answering the phone. So I'm a Voxer. I remember one time he was like, Nicole, you know I don't listen to all that shit, right? You don't send me 20 voice notes. I ain't listened to not one of them. So I was like, F you. But no, but see, that was the young me. I would never do that now because it's pointless. But people are not taught how to communicate in relationships, especially when the person is not responsive to verbal communication, which typically is the case. Women, we like to talk, so we're gonna tell you how we feel eventually. And so, okay, now that I told you but you didn't listen to me, you didn't hear me or seek an understanding. Now what do I do? No one is taught that.
Right. So and a lot of women are not concise on what they want. It's more like in general, like we need to do this and we need to do that. People don't like like I said, they don't focus on the connection they have with this person and what this person's role may serve in their life. They want, like I said, they have this image of them being married, living here, doing this lifestyle, but it may not match up to the person they need to be with. Because women want what they want. And it's like, hey, but he might have a different vision. And people don't understand, like I said, your objective to be married is to be a helpmate to your husband. So it's his vision and what he has for the family and what he has for you all. So if you're like, you all like corporate America and you're like, I'm not moving. Right. And he's like, and you're like, I'm not moving. But he's like, well, we got to move here because I'm going to get this, $250,000 contract. So it's going to take care of us. So you need to, come off your job. And she's like, no, I like my job. He need to be able to conform to me. And then that's another reason why those marriages don't work out, because some women, they are so used to leading. Like I said, they take charge in their education, their career, their styles, their food, all this stuff they're in control of. But when it comes to their love life, they're not in control of. And that's, me, I speak on that in my clubhouse rooms. And when I, host events or I do podcasts with other people, I talk on it a lot. It's like, you have all this control and you can do this and you can do that, but you can't manifest the love that you want in your life. And this is how I manifest the lovers that I want in my life because of this. And I still can have it all. Like people are like, oh, can you have it all? Yeah, I can have it all because I designed it like that. Yeah. So that's why I say when women, I hear them, they're like, oh, it's no good men. Like I did a Galentine in New York a couple of weeks ago. And the women were like, oh, these men are intimidated by us. I said, you see how silly you sound? I was like, these men are not intimidated by you. I said, the man that does it, he means he doesn't want you. He doesn't like your energy. He doesn't like your attitude. But no man is intimidated by no woman. Let's get that straight. So if that makes you feel better to use that word choice, then that's where your mindset is different from what is, you're so detached from the reality of how things are. A man who wants you is not intimidated by you.
Absolutely. And you guys are wonderful. Oh my gosh, I love you so much.
What's going on, lady?
On and on. We had a hot topic going today.
I caught it. I was so pissed off because I had to go to traffic court. So I just, did what I did or whatever. And I was so pissed off when I walked out the courthouse because I got to go appeal the thing again. But anyway, I turned on the show and I heard you guys talking about a whole lot of stuff. And it made me smile. So I was like, let me get in here. That was so great. Such a great topic. Hey, Vonetta.
Yes, Vonetta always brings that truth.
Hey, lady, what's going on?
So that's what actually we should do this as another topic. That's what I was telling Vonetta. I was asking her a question based on a conversation a girlfriend and I had yesterday, and I think that it's a viable topic. And in dating, in terms of if you are a person who wants to find your special someone, and it could be a man or a woman, are you blocking yourself from that? Are you blocking the universe from sending that person to you by entertaining those that are not that? Like those in the meantime, in between time people, right? Like I like them for this, and this, but I know they're probably not going to be my forever person. So can you basically entertain people that are not going to be that for you and still attract that which you really want?
I had stated keep entertaining them. Go ahead. What'd you say?
My stance on it is you can do that. However, you need to know when to cut off that journey, when it gets become a liability, when they're no longer adding value to your life, because you need to keep an open heart. And people are sent to your life for, like I said, a reason, season, or a lifetime. And you have to differentiate and discern how that person's going to play a role by their actions in your life and how they're showing up. So if you have a real deep spiritual connection and a relationship with whoever your higher being is, I'm just going to leave it at that. I believe in God, but you know, you would know when to cut somebody off. And I said, that's the reason why a lot of women are not successful in dating or getting what they want, because they don't know when to cut that journey off.
I think that is where I came in. And so what I was thinking when I heard you say that, because generally me and Nicole do celebrity gossip, I started to think about.
We did at the beginning.
Did you? So that made me think about the Wendy Williams situation, because she just kind of, you know, with the COVID and then the Graves and then the husband that left with everybody else, I think she didn't know when to cut it off.
Right.
And now she's kind of wound up losing pretty much
everything. Not true. The thing is, she knew when to cut off. She said she knew what he was doing. You know who you married, number one. No woman who gets married don't know who their husband is. You want to sit here and act like boo-boo the fool, that's you. But Wendy had stated on her show, she said no. Yeah. She knew what he was doing is when the baby came in the picture, and that's when she started to distance herself from him and so forth like that. But she didn't realize the emotional impact, because we never know how it's going to be impacted. Just like you having a baby. It's like, oh yeah, I'm going to have a baby. Like I was telling about Naomi Campbell, but you don't really know the impact emotionally it's going to have on you. Like I had postpartum with both of my kids. I didn't anticipate that. I definitely didn't manifest that. You never know the emotional impact, and some people can't manage their emotions because they don't have intelligent, emotional intelligence to do so, or get the support they need to know when they're like stumbling. Like I know when to catch myself. Like I'll tell someone, you know, I'm sad today, or like I'm not me. So give me some time. Some people don't know how to do that. So Wendy, she was in a snowball effect, but she knew when to cut the journey off with him. Like I said, when the baby entered in the picture, she distanced herself and she did some stuff, but she did things irrational, which caused some other things to happen. Because if you were truly ready to cut somebody off when they included another being in there, you would be cool. You'd be like, okay, you had that. Let's move here. Let's get the lawyers. Let's, get your cut and keep it moving. And you would be still staying, but it impacted you emotionally. And then it impacted your health. You already had health issues, and then it triggered some more, because I was in a situation like that dealing with someone, and like my thyroid went back and I gained like 30 pounds in a month. And I was like, oh shoot. And then I needed 3 months to regulate my body. So that's what I say, that's something you can't control. It might sound good in theory, but when practice come in the real life, you like, hold on. I was the boss. Like, I don't care about him. He can't. And then when he had a baby, it was like, woo. Because she had issues having her son. She had multiple miscarriages, and he had probably other babies on her before they even had their son. So she was going through an emotional journey that she didn't foresee it. So it came out of nowhere. So that's why she's in the predicament she's in. But she knew when to cut the journey off. She doesn't know how to handle when that journey ended, if that makes sense.
Because those emotions, I remember when I had my first heartbreak, I'd never had my heart broken before. And the emotional overload, I wasn't sure I was gonna make it. I was like, how do people go through multiple heartbreaks? They deal with this pain, and that emotional overload can sometimes really get you. And I really feel bad for her too. Yeah.
Me too. I do too, because nobody deserves that. And no human being should make you lose your sanity or your health. Like,
let me ask one more question before we wrap up the show, because I guess we are at 2:00 and I know y'all probably both got to go back to work and do something, whatever. So what did y'all talk about did you talk about Future versus Russell? Because
we did.
So, and what did y'all say about Future versus Russell? Because that's kind of the same thing, your temporary and how long you keep them around. Future was not the future. And so then we went to Russell. And which one do you think the son is gonna? So what did y'all say on that? I want to know.
I think we both agreed that Russell is his primary caregiver. So 9 times out of 10, that's who he will model his life after. Like Vanetta said, I'm sure he knows his biological father. I do think he pops in and out, I guess, when he can. But his primary day-to-day guy seems to be Russell Wilson.
Okay. I really hate that I missed this show.
Huh?
I really hate that I missed the majority of this show.
Oh, yes. Well, you'll have to go back and listen to the replay.
Oh, yeah, that's what I tell everybody else.
Your turn.
All right. Well, do you have when is your, oh, nope, never mind. I was about to ask you when is your next show, but your show is weekly, so we know when your next show is.
Right. Let Vanetta tell us what she got going on with the Vanetta experience.
Okay, go ahead, girl.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm still in Atlanta trying to get back to DC. I got back in for a day. I'm heading to the airport. I'm waiting on the Uber to come. I just dropped off the Turo car. It has, I don't know if you had mentioned, but I am a Turo host. So I have a fleet of 3 cars in the DMV area. So if you looking to rent a car, you can look me up on Turo. Vanetta's Rides. I have a Honda Accord, a Sonata, and a Jeep Compass that you can rent through me. If not, you can hit me up in my social media, the Vanetta Experience on IG. I'm known as Vanetta King on Facebook. You just send me a DM because I got enough fans, I call them. I'm at my limit. I don't know if I want to do the celebrity one. Who knows? But some projects coming down way. I'm definitely gonna go ahead and set the podcast up. And then I'm looking to do a dating show. I got a pilot I'm creating now with a producer I met on Clubhouse. And we're working on trying to see how we can sell it in regards to, it'll help women who are listening to the show. Giving you an ideal. I love African men. Ghana is a country I chose because they're very welcoming to African Americans coming back to Africa, and they're less political environment. So I want to do a dating show, dating the Vanetta Experience, to show that there are quality men, that the same qualities we want in men in the US, they have them in Ghana. And they can, they're educated, they're business entrepreneurs that, can meet your needs too. But the barrier is location, maybe culture, and some language communications, but you can go through those to get to a quality person that you may have a connection with. I think we're stuck on this pool of people in the US, and the world is bigger. So why not? So I want to do a dating show. It's going to be kind of mirror The Bachelor and Bachelorette, but I'm not getting married to these men, but they're just going to be on a journey to date me for a period of time. So you can see that, those men do exist over there, and our world isn't as small as you think, or it's more similar. We have some more harmonies than irregularities, I guess you can say, in relationships. And some of them, are looking, to find someone and have a connection with, not just to get a green card and, be scamming us and this and that and third. We have to kind of break those stereotypes. So that's what I'm currently, trying to work on. So I'll keep you guys posted.
That sounds good. I might have to bring you back on the show and actually do a whole interview with you.
Absolutely.
That would be great.
Yep, that would be great. Okay, y'all. Well, thank you so much for filling in when I was
Thank
out
you.
there in the world.
Of course.
It sounds like it was a great show, and
It was.
we'll have to get you back on again one day.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, Nicole, and I will talk to you next week.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Okay.
See you, Nicole.
Bye. Thank you, Vanetta. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Well, we just wrapped up another great show with Marvin Harris and his special guest, and Nicole Williams and her special guest. We had Brandy and Vanetta, and I hope you enjoy both of them. You should go to xavierfox.com/radio-show for the schedule for the month of February. There's only a few more days, and you can see when your favorite personality or topic is scheduled. The What's Hot segment that you just listened to on Thursdays is an opportunity for you to rep your city as a correspondent, to share upcoming events, celebrity gossip, movies to Netflix and chill with, or a good book to curl up with. If you're interested, connect with me at Xavier Fox at xavierfox.com. Be sure and visit my YouTube channel, Xavier Fox Media, and click subscribe. There are new shows popping up all the time. If you'd like to connect with me on social media, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn, and soon on Fanbase as XAV as in Victor, IAFOX. That's Xavier Fox. My book, The Men in My Life and What I've Learned, is available on Amazon in Kindle format and paperback. You can also purchase an autographed copy on my website, xavierfox.com. Be sure to visit my website for information on all upcoming shows and events, as well as merchandise such as t-shirts and coffee mugs. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's show without much of me in it. Oh my goodness. I am so happy to have the network that I have. They filled in and it didn't miss a beat. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. I'm going to start a few of the replays. Tomorrow at 12 noon, Eric Prince's Holistic Health and Fitness replay is up. So until tomorrow, stay safe and be prosperous, and I'm out.